Some of our favorite actors, artists, and writers, like Robin Williams, Kurt Cobain, and Ernest Hemingway, have been affected by a toxic mental illness that is very relevant in this day and age, which is called depression. In fact, each year, almost 1 in 11 young adults and adolescents in the US have a major depressive episode. Depression is a phenomenon that is common and something that is rising by the times. Depression is that prison cell that is hard to escape. It's that loss of happiness that chains you to yourself. You feel trapped from the outside world. Think of someone around you. Your father, your friend, your neighbor. Any one of them could be experiencing this without you even knowing. Depression is a disorder that causes victims to mentally express melancholic moods, anxiety, or even self-destructive behaviors for long periods of time. Unlike sadness, depression is something that is hard to break out of. Almost like it's a drug. Depression is a tornado that constantly whirls you up into the core, even at your highs. You could be having a great time from that last night, but the other night, you're right back into that catastrophe. I recall, on Christmas Day, I was enjoying myself in the company of my family. However, that night, I fell back into my bed and cried. I felt trapped inside my mind. I felt like the bed was going to consume me. I could not explain why I felt this way. This is what depression can do to you. It's a magnet that pulls you back from happiness. There are times where you suddenly feel distraught, and it's like a hammer that clashes you against the wall. Depression keeps you crawling inside your bed, and it's that glue that sticks your mental state to the ground. There can be days and days spent solely in your room where your reality is close to nothing, and all you can feel are those little drops of thunder striking in your mind. Where you are being controlled by the whispers of your memories and emotions. These voices are stronger than metal. They puncture your heart and pin it against the wall. When these thoughts become larger than life, it can seem like death is the only option. Suicide affects the globe in tragic circumstances. In fact, according to the American Psychiatric Association, suicide is the third leading cause of death. People physically take their lives away due to this void of emptiness. Why must we think it is okay to judge someone solely based on their personal experiences? Words cut deeper than a knife, and your words might become that cause to that knife. Depression is serious. Depression could be compared to malaria. Just like a disease, it captures the lives of innocent souls, and it takes away too many beautiful passions away from this world. I remember those days where all I was doing was crying and staying in the comfort of my bed. I would be completely disconnected from the outside world, and I missed out on the opportunities of experiencing the beauty of nature. During those times, I tend to gain weight and slip my perception of myself down a deeper drain. Insecurity was a prime feeling and an unmotivated my growth and success as a person. When depression strikes, it is common for sufferers to experience weight gain, and it can increase their rate of hypertension or diabetes. Depression not only affects the mind, but also other organ systems. Now, we must look at the vision. Professionals predict that the number of diagnoses of depression will surpass myocardial infarction in the future, making it the second largest public affair. Now is not the time to push depression away. It is a serious problem that weakens at the core of an individual's physical and mental state. We must tackle the issue at hand with different angles and perspectives, and most importantly, we must support the oppressed. Many doctors suggest that prescription is necessary. However, there is something called cognitive therapy, which is as effective as medication. Cognitive therapy is a simple, yet excellent way to cure depression. Sufferers are taught how to change harmful thoughts and beliefs into positive ones. It's simple in a way that it doesn't involve medication and that it doesn't deal with the side effects carried on with prescription. It is a one-on-one interaction with two minds intertwined. Many people might presume that sitting and talking to heal depression is outdated and ineffective. However, evidence proves that this is in fact wrong. According to a study by Dr. Robbie DeBuse, who is from the University of Pennsylvania, cognitive therapy has seemed to help patients with depression. 240 patients with depression were divided into 3 groups. One was treated with cognitive therapy, another with Paxil, an antidepressant drug, and the other was given placebo pills. 16 weeks later, the results for cognitive therapy and drugs were equal. In fact, a year after the treatments were concluded, 31% of those who received cognitive therapy had returned back to the depressive state, while 71% who took antidepressants returned back to their depressive state. Cognitive therapy is shown to be as effective as medication, and also even more effective than medication. It is obvious that cognitive therapy has benefited more sufferers versus prescription. If we use cognitive therapy instead of drugs, patients would be more comfortable. Prescription comes with side effects, and these can be intimidating to victims of depression. It's important to realize what methods are beneficial, and cognitive therapy will provide assistance to people in need. If depressed people had help, support, and motivation, the true beauty of life would be explained to them. The sun would truly shine. Life will be something truly remarkable, living with its beautiful rivers and waterfalls. Suicide rates would decrease immensely. We would have more passions and hearts to provide to rising affairs, diseases, and issues. The world would be a friendlier place if we all played a part in helping our depressed ones and supporting depressed ones, instead of putting them down because of their experiences. The most important thing you could do is to support depressed beings and to be aware of your surroundings. If you're a parent of a child, be on top of their social behaviors in his or her daily routine. It's important that you ensure that your children are okay. The burden lies on us to be respectful, supportive, and aware of people who are going through that wrecking ball of depression. We must not joke about depression. Remember, depressive people become more sensitive when depression strikes. It tears your heart open, and it opens it all up to the poisons in this world. We have to be aware of the word choices that we use when dealing with others we haven't met. Truly, with one glance at someone, you could never know what's going inside in their mind, what battle they're battling with. Treating others with mutual respect and kindness will further invest into a brighter youth and global community. We must not ignore depression, since it affects a large population from different effects. We must not ignore depression because it oppresses our passions and our futures. As a community, we are all affected, even in the slightest ways possible. We all contribute a significant part to this world, and without you, the world wouldn't be a better place. Thank you.